Here, Beatrice. Put this over your shoulders.
It's the gunshot that brought it all back. The horror of rushing into that room and seeing Thomas on the floor in a pool of blood. And now Mrs. Hatchley's dead, too.
I know what a shock this all must be for you, sweetheart.
Just to realize I've lost almost 3 years of my life. And I'm living in a place I have no remembrance of ever coming to. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
No, Beatrice. You're in the real world now. And we have that to be grateful for. That'll help you through everything else.
I know Hensley's the one who killed Mrs. Hatchley.
And I thought he was my friend.
And who fired the shot that killed him? The one I heard in my bedchamber.
A man that neither one of us knows. James Stenbeck.
Hello, Barbara.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. How are you feeling?
The drug that Hensley gave me seems to be wearing off a little bit. But as it does, I realize my life is turning into a nightmare all over again. James is alive, back in Oakdale.
I can only imagine what you feel. But thank God he was here to save you from Hensley. And then when the tunnel wall caved in, he saved Margot's life.
Margot. Brian and Margot came here to help me. Oh my God, what if something happens to Margot and the baby?
Earl, I think we would have done better if we swam.
Tell you.
Hey, Seth. Boy, I gotta find my wife and my mother as soon as I get out of this.
I hope Liz is still speaking to me. Now, where is she?
Hang this, what you say?
Look, I don't know how to tell you this, guys, but Margot's had some sort of an accident.
What?
They've taken her to the hospital in an ambulance.
Take it easy.
Get this out. Here, get this out.
Hey. Margot, darling. Can you hear me, honey? This is Mama. Honey, are you okay?
Margot, it's Dr. Samuels, dear. I'm here. I came as soon as I could. What happened?
We're not sure about the details. I don't know.
All right, I want this area cleared. I have to examine her.
I'm going to stay, Atwt.
No, Lila, not now.
No, I want
Lila,
to stay.
please,
Mama, come on,
not
Mama, come
now.
on. Come on, come on.
John, please get all these people back to the waiting
Let's
area,
go back.
would you? Please,
inside,
pull the
everybody.
curtains. Margot, it's all right. I'm here. I'm here. We'll take care of you.
Okay, you guys, I think I got everything here. You can take off. Thanks a lot.
Why was she out there? That's what I want.
You the guy who brought her in?
That's right. How is she?
She's with her obstetrician right now. Wait a minute. Let me look at these hands. These burns need attention.
I'll
pal.
be fine. Margot's the one who needs attention. Wouldn't worry about Mrs. Stenbeck if I were you, Casey. The minute I get the police here, you're going to be under arrest for attempted murder.
Mama.
As the world turns.
Look, John, I don't know what this is all about, but this guy needs some medical treatment. He's got second-degree burns here, and besides, the paramedics said
I don't think you realize the kind of person you're dealing with, Casey.
Listen, I can imagine how you feel.
No,
John.
you can't begin to imagine how I feel, Stenbeck. And let me tell you something else. I am not going to stop until I put you where you belong.
Come on, John, this isn't
You
the
tried to
time or
kill me.
place.
You tried to kill Dustin. You tried to kill everybody on that airplane.
Saved Margot's life,
We don't have
John.
time to start arguing about this. This guy needs some medical treatment. Now, come on.
Listen to me, Casey. This man does not leave the treatment area until the police get here. Do you understand? Is that clear to
Yes.
you? Is it clear?
Absolutely. Well, what's your name again?
Stenbeck.
You want to follow me? Come on in here.
Thank you.
I just can't believe after all these years that he's alive.
He won't die until we put a wooden stake in his heart.
John, could you please forget about James Stenbeck? Margot's in there fighting for her life
Look,
and the
I am
baby.
just as concerned about that as you are. Audrey is with her. There is nothing that we can do about it, all right?
Is
Has anybody found Tom, at least?
No, darling, there's no way to reach him until he gets over to the Mona Lisa, and then I'm sure Seth will send him right over here.
Oh, God, if anything happens to her...
I'm going into the treatment room to try to keep an eye on Stenbeck. You wait here. Brian, will you do me a favor? Will you call the police? Will you get somebody over here so that they can pick this guy up right now?
Right away.
Thank you.
Why don't you just wait here? I'm going to see if there's a treatment room available, all right?
Don't you get any ideas about disappearing? You're not going anywhere this time.
Look, John, I don't expect any medals. But if I hadn't gotten Margot
You're
out of
right.
that
You'll get
tunnel...
no medals from me. You'll get no thanks from me. You'll only get punishment for all the hell you caused in this town.
Now listen, Dixon...
No, you listen to me. I don't want another word out of you. You're a cheat. You're a liar. You steal from people. You kill them.
How would you like to compare records? I don't recall that Dr. John Dixon is up for sainthood.
Dustin was a kid.
Excuse me.
Out loud. A kid in an airplane. And what did you try to...
Excuse me, John. I can talk to you now.
Don't you go anywhere. You wait right here.
Let's go to the waiting area. Lila.
Audrey, what's happening? How's Margot and the baby?
Well, it's hard to say at this point, Lila. They've both suffered a major trauma. Now, we're still getting a fetal heartbeat, which is a very good sign. But Margot's in a great deal of pain. Now, if it intensifies, she could go into labor. And at this point in her pregnancy, that could be extremely serious.
Well, that's great, Doctor, but what the hell are you doing to help her?
Well, right now, Craig, there's nothing to do but keep her calm and wait to see if she and the baby can recover from the shock of the fall. Now, we're monitoring them both closely, but other than that...
Audrey, can I go see her now, please?
I'd rather you didn't, Lila. Not just yet. The important thing is to locate her husband. She keeps calling for Tom. Well, Tom called a little while ago, but he's somewhere between here and the capital. He's been delayed because of the storm. I hope he gets here soon. It could help Margot get through this. Now, I'm going back inside to be with her, but I'll keep you posted.
Look, maybe I'll just call Seth to see if he's seen Tom, huh?
Let's do it.
Lila, where's Margot? Is she all right?
Tom! Tom! Oh, Tom!
Well, I think we could all use a stiff brandy about now.
I don't want any of that.
Well, this bottle's all right. It's never been opened. It was the brandy in the decanter that was drugged. I still can't get over it. So many years so close to Hensley. He was like a brother. And now to be betrayed.
I really don't want to talk about Hensley.
I remember when I went to the cemetery earlier today. He was digging a grave. It must have been for Mrs. Hatchley. I also saw Thomas's tombstone. And this was no dream. This was very real.
Why don't you let me call a doctor, Beatrice? Perhaps a sedative.
No, I'm not ready to go to sleep yet. There's still so much to absorb. Go to her, Duncan. She needs you. I'll be all right.
I still can't accept the fact that James is alive. I keep thinking about Paul and what this is going to do to him.
I know very little about what you suffered from James. But I'm sure that Paul will be happy to know that his father is alive.
Paul is at a very impressionable age, and James is not a good influence.
Perhaps he's changed over the years.
Oh, yes. That's what he tried to tell me. That he just remembered who he was a couple of weeks ago, that he'd been living a very quiet life, working for Hensley. Well, I'll tell you, Duncan, I hoped over and over and over again when we were married that he could change, but I don't think that men like James do. And if he hasn't...
Don't forget that you told me that you've changed. That you became all the stronger from the scars that he left you.
Oh, true. But you have no idea what James is capable of.
Don't be afraid, lassie. I'm here and I'll protect you. You've no idea what I'm capable of when it comes to protecting someone I care about.
Yes, Mom. Yes, Mom. I know what time it is. Yes. Yes. Yes, I know what day it is. I have school I know. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, goodbye. This woman has a one-track mind.
Well, come on, she's right. It's getting late, and visiting hours are over.
I know. I just want to finish my story.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so she didn't understand why I was so excited that Holden called me from London.
Right.
Right, she's feeling my forehead, asking me how I feel.
Are you sick?
I said I feel okay. Am I sick, right? It gets better, though. Okay, she's asking me, is Holden telling me sexy things?
Oh, my.
Sexy things from London.
Yeah?
I mean, the more the woman said about this, I just laughed. I laughed. She is unreal. She really is.
Oh, well, how did Holden sound?
Great. He sounded great. Tonio's working him around the clock, though, so he hasn't seen that much of London, but he's very excited about all the things that he's learning.
Oh, I'm glad this experience turned out to be good.
I know.
Yeah, boy.
I don't think that Holden realized what a slave driver Tonio is, though.
Oh, yeah?
You know, he left for Paris. He practically chained Holden to his desk.
Is Tonio gonna go over to... I mean, is he gonna visit Sierra there?
Probably. I mean, if she'll let him. I mean, I don't know how she feels about him right now. I mean, here she is pregnant with her first child, has a rocky marriage. Right, I just hate seeing my sister trapped in a relationship like this, that's all.
Well, I mean, she has a mind of her own. I mean, she wouldn't be in a situation if she didn't want to be.
I don't know about that. See, Sierra grew up in Montega, and they have a very different view of their values. I mean, different than we do. I mean, she has this view that the woman's place is in the home. If she has a rocky marriage, you have to make it work. I mean, it's kind of sad. I mean, her views were so different. They were really changing until she ran off and married Tonio. I just hope some of her strength comes back, that's all. Hey, Craig, what's wrong? You look terrible. What happened?
Margot got hurt. And she may lose the baby.
Oh, my God.
I spoke with Roy Franklin. He's on his way over.
Oh, that's good. Terrific. Thanks, Brian, very much.
Where is he? Have you seen him?
Who?
Stenbeck. I got a room available. He's disappeared.
Oh, Casey.
Boy, you know, I'll never forget the look on Tom's face when he found out what happened to Margot. Such a horrible shock for him.
It's been a night of shocks, believe me.
You know, I still don't understand why you left the Mona Lisa without a word to me.
Margot wouldn't tell me anything, just she needed to get to McKechnie's Island, that Barbara was in some kind of danger.
Amazing how Barbara's always in the middle of everyone's problems.
Yeah, we discussed the irony of rescuing Barbara on our way out there.
Well, who is this man who rescued Margot?
James Stenbeck. He was married to Barbara once.
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing about him. He put her through a lot, didn't he?
He put everyone whose life he touched through hell. Now he's got the gall to come back to Oakdale.
Is Paul his son?
But fortunately, Paul wasn't aware of the horrible things that his father did.
Were you?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I was in practice at the time. As a matter of fact, I was James' attorney till I found out what kind of a man he really was. His last act before presumably dying was to hijack an airplane with John and Dusty and a lot of other people aboard, turn off their oxygen supply, and then proceed to abandon them to the crash that lie ahead.
Oh, my God. He has the nerve to come back here? Oh, Lila. How's Margot? Oh, honey, it's too early to tell.
Well, I saw 2 police cars out there. What is going on?
I don't even know where to begin, really.
I'm so sorry all this has happened. Where's John?
He's here. I don't know where, though.
I'm glad you're here.
Oh, David, we got here as soon as we could. Lisa!
Where is he? How is Margot? Is Tom here yet? Tom is here. Tom is with Margot because the doctor felt that it would help to calm her down.
Well, when Betsy called, all she said was that Margot had some kind of an accident.
What happened? Honey, I don't know exactly what did happen. All I know is that, she'd gone out to Duncan's Island to help Barbara. And now I was here. Well, I don't know, but I was here when the ambulance arrived. And then who should arrive with them but James?
James?
Yes, James Stenbeck. No. He is alive.
What?
Can you believe it? Oh, I don't believe it. None of us.
Are you sure? John, where have you been?
I've been looking all over this hospital for Stenbeck. He's skipped. Where's Tom?
Well, he's in with Margot now. Oh, God, I hope we can help.
Dusty, that's all the information I've got on Margot right now, okay? Listen, the reason I'm calling is, I know things are bad between John and you right now, but he could really use a little moral support. Could you stop by the hospital?
Okay, Casey, definitely. I will. I'll be right there.
Listen, don't tell him that I called you, okay? You do that? Thanks.
Look, Tom, I know what you're going through, but for Margot's sake, you can't let her see it.
Okay. All right.
Will you be all right?
I'm fine.
Okay, you can go in then. Go ahead.
I'm beautiful. How you feeling?
Tom. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Oh, I'm glad you're here.
Everything's gonna be okay. You just need to rest.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gone to the island. I'm sorry.
Don't even think about that now. Don't even think about that now.
Barbara off so you could get your train.
Baby, it's gonna be okay.
I'm sorry.
Everything's gonna be okay, I promise. I promise.
I believe you. I believe you.
Will I always tell you the truth, huh?
All truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God.
Yeah.
Our new DA. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud.
You know what I'm most proud of, huh? I'm most proud of the fact that Margot Montgomery fell in love with me and married me.
Married you.
And is carrying our baby.
Our baby.
That is my proudest achievement. I don't care about DA ships. I don't care about anything as long as I got you to love me.
I love you.
Sweetie, what is it? Dr. Samuels?
I want this baby so bad. You know, it's like the most important thing in the life. I don't know what's going to happen to them.
Don't think about that. You just hang on to the thought that they're going to be all right.
I lost the baby once before already, and it almost tore them apart for good.
How'd the accident happen?
Oh, I don't know. I just got bits and pieces from Brian. Margot thought that Barbara was in some kind of trouble, danger out at McKechnie's Island, so she convinced Brian to take her out there. When they got there, they found Duncan's sidekick, Taggart or something, and he was shot. So, Margot went into this tunnel, and something happened in there. James Stenbeck. James Stenbeck saved her life. We thought he was dead.
Dusty told me about him.
I've never heard of him before.
And you're very lucky.
Dusty told me that he tried to kill him and John, push him out of a plane. I thought that...
That's him. Guy's a real prince.
Yeah, but I don't understand if he's done all this stuff. Why hasn't he been arrested?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the confusion in the ER or something. I'm gonna get back down and see how they're doing, okay?
All right.
Listen, thanks for the moral support.
Anytime.
See you later.
Are you going to come back?
Yeah,
All
of course.
right, now let me know what's going on.
I'll see you.
Bye. I'll say a prayer for her.
Thanks, do that.
Oh, my goodness. Poor Margot and Tom. It's just like I was saying before about Sierra's baby. It's so wonderful to see a marriage between Margot and Tom. I just know Sierra does not feel that way about Tonio.
Is that because she's still in love with Craig?
Hi, I thought I'd drop by. How's Margot? Is she gonna be okay?
Well, we just don't know. We have to wait and pray that they make it.
I know she's strong, and I'm sure she'll pull through.
Seth, would you stay with Kim and Nancy for a while? I want to talk to John.
Of course.
What is that?
John.
Excuse me, Seth is over there.
All right.
Can I have a word with you privately?
Sure.
What did Stenbeck have to say for himself?
Had the nerve. He thought I ought to thank him for saving Margot's life.
Where's he been for the last 3 years? And what was he doing out on Duncan McKechnie's island?
I don't know. But if there's something rotten going on out there, you can bet your bottom dollar he's up to his neck in it.
I feel terrible. You know, I just haven't even asked about Barbara. How is she, anyway?
Well, by the time Margot and I got out there, Hensley had drugged Barbara, and she was disoriented from that. Of course, she was in a state of shock from seeing Stenbeck.
Well, of course she would be. I can understand. Well, do you think it's safe that she should be left out there?
Oh, I think so. Hensley Taggart was the one who was trying to hurt her, and he's dead.
Oh, it's really too much for me to absorb all of this. I just can't take it.
Look, why don't we all go and have a nice cup of coffee?
That's a good idea.
I like that. I like that. Let's go. They need us.
Oh, Lila, I'm so sorry. I know how important that baby is to her Craig, I'm going to try to see
Mama, come on. You know they're not going to let you anywhere near
I
her.
want to try to see her.
Listen, thanks a lot for sticking around, you know. Having friends around like this means a lot.
Hey, yeah. You do the same thing for us?
Well, it's the same. I mean, it's really, it's good to have people that you care about around. That's, I guess, what bothers me most about Sierra being so far away. There's nobody really around her that cares about it.
Well, she's got her husband correctly.
John? I heard about Margot. I'm sorry. How is she?
Well, Tom and Dr. Samuels are in there with her now. I haven't heard anything. Listen, there's something I got to tell you here now, and I think you have to hear it from me before you hear it from anybody else.
What is it?
James Stenbeck. He brought Margot in here tonight. He's still alive.
Beatrice is trying to accept so much all at once. I feel so helpless.
I know what she's going through. Now that the drugs have worn off, I even feel more days after seeing James.
I don't want to dwell on this, but so much of what you said doesn't make sense. How could he have been living on this island, working for Hensley, and here and in Edinburgh without my knowing?
I don't know. But one thing we do know is that the man in the monk's robes wasn't Hensley.
I know that. I just don't understand how the man could have been living in the caretaker's cottage on the island without my ever seeing him.
Who are you?
I'm James Stenbeck.
John, how can that be? James said that gunner fell out of the plane.
I don't know. I wouldn't have believed it myself had I not seen him with my
Why would he
own
take the
eyes.
risk and come back here
I
then?
haven't the faintest idea. I promise you, I am not going to stop on this thing until we put him behind bars.
What are you talking about?
I can't let him run around like that. Not after what he did.
Excuse me, Doc, any word on Margot?
No, nothing.
Man, what a rough break. I wish there was something I could do for him.
First, you could catch Stenbeck for starters.
Look, we have combed this hospital with a fine-tooth comb. There's no one that matches the description you gave us.
I'll bet you that he went back to the island.
Tell you what, I'll have the Coast Guard take me out there. I still have to go out and check on Tiger's death.
Good idea. Good.
You know, I pulled his file. I still didn't have a chance to look at it.
When you read it, you'll see this guy should not be walking around. He's a menace.
Nick, call the Coast Guard. Look, I still want to talk to Brian for a second.
He's down in the cafeteria.
Okay. Give Margot and Tom our...
I will.
I can't believe it.
Are you all right?
No, damn it, I'm not. My daughter is lying in there. She may lose her child, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it, not to mention Stenbeck.
Who is this Stenbeck everybody's so upset about him? Didn't he save Margot's life?
He's probably the one who put her in danger in the first place. He tried to kill Dustin. He tried to kill me. That's who Stenbeck is.
Here, put this around you.
Thank you.
Drink this. You look chilled to the bone.
Thank you. It's foul weather out there. Thank you.
What happened with Margot?
We took her to the emergency room. Of course, there I ran into John Dixon, who started to threaten me with all kinds of things.
I hardly blame him. So, are Marco and the baby going to live?
I'm not sure.
Mr. Stenbeck, Barbara tells me that you claim to have been living on the island. It's a very small piece of land. It seems impossible that the two of us could live here and never see one another.
Well, I've seen you often. You see, Hensley let me roam about the grounds and castle as long as I wore that monk's robe. Plus, he would also alert me whenever you weren't here, so I was even more free to roam about. Unfortunately, Miss Hatchley did discover me once. I think that's why he was so anxious to have her eliminated. You see, Hensley was very determined that you and I never meet.
I wonder why.
Because he was using your import-export business to cover up illegal dealings.
Are you certain of that?
Positive. When this castle was transported over here, Hensley included a lot of his own crates. Now, I never knew the content of those crates until I stumbled across some ledgers, some very private ledgers, and saw the amount of money he was making from the contents.
And what were the contents?
From the amount of money I saw on paper, drugs, heroin, cocaine.
I don't believe what I'm hearing.
Are you telling us that Hensley was the Falcon?
Exactly. I even heard him use that word once when he was talking on the phone. He had no idea I was around.
And I could have easily been blamed for his illicit dealings.
I'm sure he was counting on that.
Come, dearest. Let's go upstairs so you can have a rest.
I may never be able to rest again.
Well, I want you to try. Barbara, would you like to come with us?
Barbara, there's no reason to be afraid of me. I did save your life earlier, and we have a lot of things to discuss.
No, it's okay, Duncan. I'm fine. Beatrice, you rest, okay?
Thank you. But at this point, I feel like I really have nothing to live for.
I felt that way many times myself. But you have to go on. And the experience makes you stronger. Go.
You're even more beautiful than I remembered.
I know when you came in here, James, and saw me for the first time tonight, you remembered that spineless little creature you were married to. Well, I have you know, I'm an even match for you now.
I can see that. And that strength makes you even more beautiful, if that's possible.
You'd be okay for a few minutes?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see how Tom's doing.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
You know, I've been around the ER long enough to know that waiting is the hardest part. But you ought to know that Margot's in the best possible hands, Tom.
I keep trying to tell myself that.
Casey, I want an IV started on Mrs. Hughes right away.
You got it.
Well,
Audrey, wait, let me get John before you say anything, okay?
tell me.
I'm sorry, Tom. At this point, I can't be encouraging, but Margot is strong. We are doing everything we can.
Look, I'd like
I'll
to...
let you know as soon as you can see her. I've got to be with her now. How do you spell euphemia?
E-U-P-H-E. What are you telling me?
Will you just promise me something?
Anything.
Let's not tell anyone about the baby yet.
Why not?
Because we're just getting back together and I don't want anyone to think it's because of that.
I just thought it was time to move that up. The room's almost finished.
Crib's gonna go right there. We got
gotta start thinking about furniture and
shelving.
It's hard to believe this was just a closet.
I better get going.
All right.
My mother's really gonna kill me.
Well, thanks for the nice long visit.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Just hope everything's okay between Margot and Tom.
Hi, how is she?
I don't know. I was going crazy standing around the ER. It was making me nuts. We're all just waiting. Tom's walking in and out of there, and he's as white as a ghost. I mean, the waiting's driving us all crazy, but it's getting to him the worst. Dusty's down there, too. Listen, he's kind of shook up, kid. He's having a hard time seeing somebody that tried to kill him standing alive right in front of him, you know?
I would imagine. I better go down and see him.
Okay.
Okay. And you take care of yourself, okay?
All right.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Hope everything works out.
Thanks, kid.
I'll talk to you later.
All right. I can't help thinking after everything that's happened,
About Sierra and the baby?
it's just that she's real far away, and she's in a strange country. She doesn't know anybody. She's in a loveless marriage. She doesn't have anybody to talk to.
I'm sure she's not in any danger. I mean, like your sister, you know.
I think she might be in another kind of danger.
Well, if you feel that strongly about it, then you should go to her.
No, but the writing you're going to be doing had to have some effect. I mean,
Hi, Lily. How you doing? Nice to see you. Sit down. No.
You know what you must be going through right now.
Well, I received the call from Casey, and I knew I had to be here for John, so.
I respect you for that. I know you two haven't been getting along too well ever since Meg.
I was wondering about that. I didn't really think you'd ever respect me again after Meg.
Well, it's not important right now, is it?
You know, I can't help but think about how when we thought Meg was pregnant, and I really hoped it wasn't true, and then you think about Tom and Margot and how much they want their baby. It's weird, you know.
Craig told me about James Stenbeck.
I know, I can't believe it.
Well, it's no big deal. It's just, I don't know, it's a job, and they'll have to let the crew go then.
Yeah,
They'll have to lay them off.
Steve, you know, it seems like such a small problem, doesn't it? In comparison. We're so lucky just to have Danny. It makes you realize that a big house and a lot of money isn't everything, right?
Shannon, did Brian tell you anything else about what happened at the island?
Well, only that Duncan's sister Beatrice doesn't think of him as her long-lost fiancé anymore.
Really? How did that happen? I thought that poor girl was trapped in time forever and ever.
I don't know, but I'm sure glad it did happen. Now Brian won't have to play the Good Samaritan anymore.
Earl? What is the matter with you? You're a million miles away.
Yeah. Well, just excuse me for a moment, will you?
But Uncle Earl.
He was a desperate man. I was wrong from the beginning. Do you mind if I sit down?
No, not at all.
Are you discussing another editorial about the Falcon?
Well, there may not be a reason to publish any more editorials.
Well, how come?
We've reason to believe that the Falcon was killed tonight.
Hensley Taggart?
Everything points to him as the mastermind, not McKechnie.
But who shot him? Why?
Hensley drugged Barbara. He was about to rape her when Stenbeck showed up, saw what was happening, and shot him.
Seems like a rather drastic measure for Stenbeck to do that, but you know what Lisa has said was that she didn't think that he was very much of a hero type.
Look, we're gonna shove off. I'm gonna meet up with the Coast Guard. They're gonna take us out to the island.
Let me know what happened.
Sure thing.
Okay, take
Hey, you two. What have you two got your heads together about?
No, Brian will fill you in on everything. I've got to go.
But Earl, where are you going? I don't even know where you've been all day. And I don't even know how you hooked up with Tom or anything.
Look, I'll explain it all to Lisa later, really. I have an important phone call to make. Okay?
After everything that you have done to me, I would be crazy to believe anything that you said. And yet you tell me you came in here and you did not intend to reveal yourself to me?
I swear to you, I didn't.
All right. Look, why don't you just get out of here while you can, okay? Because I know that John Dixon has called the police and you will be arrested and sent away to prison, James.
Not necessarily. Not after they hear my story.
I don't care about your story. I heard Gunner's story. All I care about is Paul.
What about Paul?
Paul thinks his father is dead. Now, wouldn't you rather leave him with his illusions rather than have him see his father tried for attempted murder and God knows what else you've been doing?
I want to see him. I want to talk to him.
Absolutely not.
Barbara, he's my son. You can't stop me from seeing him.
Damn you. You are still as selfish and self-centered as ever.
Do you think that I'm just going to walk out of here without a chance to get to know my son?
How are you going to do that from behind bars? Huh, James?
You're right. I need a lawyer. Brian's not practicing anymore. Help me find one.
You want my help?
Listen, there's a Coast Guard boat pulling up to the dock. I saw it from Beatrice's window.
Well, must be the police.
Well, earlier this evening, all hell broke loose out on McKechnie's Island. Now, as far as I know, there are 2 dead. One of them is the housekeeper, Mrs. Hatchley. Now, the other is McKechnie's solicitor. Yeah, Hensley Taggart. That's right. Yeah. Now, everything is now pointed to Taggart as being the head of the organization, alias the Falcon. No, well, it just doesn't stamp out with me, not for 1 second, no. Look, I am not convinced that the real Falcon is dead. No. Look, he is an easy mark, this guy. He's a pushover. Look, I want to make a request. Will you give me the permission to stay here until I am satisfied that the Falcon is no longer at large? Come on, that's all I ask, okay?
You can get out this way.
Thank you, but I'm not running. I'm gonna stay. Well, Barbie never did answer me. Are you gonna help me get a lawyer or not?
Hensley Taggart was a lawyer. He might have defended you if you hadn't killed him.
For God's sakes, Barbara, I killed him to save your life. Now, all I'm asking for is what any common criminal gets. Legal representation. Certainly as Paul's father, you won't deny me that.
Open up, it's the police!
Well?
All right. All right, I know the name of a very good man. His name is Ambrose Bingham. I'll have him contact you.
I knew I could count on you.
Oh, come on, James. I didn't
We
do
got a lot of
it for you. I did it for
questions.
Paul.
We want to ask you about exactly what happened
Not
down here, McKechnie.
I'm at your disposal.
How's Margot?
Dr. Samuels is monitoring her and the baby. All we can do is pray now. Are you James Stenbeck?
I am.
You're under arrest. Brian was right. All right, read him his rights, Nick. Copy him, Joe.
You have the right to remain silent.
I don't
Refuse
need to
answer
hear
questions.
my
Do you
rights.
understand?
I'll go peacefully.
Anything
I know
you
what
do
I'm
say
charged
is
copy him
with.
anyway, Joe. We're not taking any
You
chances.
understand? Yes, sir. You have the right to consult an attorney before
Yes,
speaking
I
to the
understand.
police and to have
Fine.
an attorney present
All right, let's
during
go.
any questioning now or in the future. Do you understand? If you cannot afford an
None
attorney,
of
one
this
will be
would have
provided
happened
for you
if I
without
hadn't saved your
cost.
life.
Do you understand?
Remember
If
that.
you do not have an attorney available, you have the right to remain silent until you have had an opportunity to consult with one. Do you understand? Now, and I've advised you of your rights and willing to answer any questions without an attorney present.
Tom, darling, I know you're worried, but try not to anticipate the worst. Remember what your grandfather always said.
I know PMA, positive mental attitude.
It's just hard.
Darling, you have to be strong now for Margot's sake. She needs you now more than ever.
I know.
Tom, honey. Listen, I was thinking, I know we agreed not to call your father till tomorrow, but maybe talking to him now would be helpful.
No, Kim, I don't think so. Not until there's something conclusive.
Well, at least have your coffee.
No, Look, I'm sorry. I don't mean to seem ungrateful, but I think I need to be alone for a while.
Of course, darling. Sure.
Coffee. It's awfully hard to know what to say to him.
I know, but I'm sure just your being here means a lot to him.
Oh, I don't know. I just keep thinking about the night I lost my baby. It reminds me of it so much. Anyway, he's right. There's only one way to handle that, and it's alone.
Well, let's just pray that that's not the case here.
Yes, David, let's. Have you talked to Ellen?
I just called her. Christopher and Danny are both fine.
Thanks, David.
How are they?
Women's Fashions by Arthur Chapnick. Menswear by Aquascutum of London, 5th Avenue, New York. Join us tomorrow for As the World Turns.